I think we're live and going. Hi, everybody.
Hi. Hello.
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 I'm doing tonight.
Talking about
We're
PS3.
going live, baby.
We're always going live, but always late.
Mm-hmm. What? Three minutes ain't that bad. It got
It's-
time for Joey to tell his story about the FBI.
That's right.
I love that story.
Wish I heard that.
I'm sure you'll hear it after podcast.
Did PS3 have those commercials that were like crazy and satanic, or was that PS2 mostly?
I think that was 3.
Hell yeah. That's the best
PS3 had the
console.
creepy baby commercial, right?
Oh, I do recall this one.
Yeah.
I was thinking it'd been cool if we like recreated one of those in-person meetup to recreate, do an ad for the show.
A weird
That
baby commercial.
they call me a weird baby.
Do they?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Pretty normal thing to call me. How's everyone doing this week?
I'm doing fine. Doing
Yeah.
fine.
Busy as a motherfucker.
Yeah, same.
1/4 of us are new homeowners.
That's me, that's
Half of
me.
us. Half of us.
Well, new homeowners. Did you just buy a house too?
In December. I still think that qualifies as new.
Yeah, that's new.
Yeah, you can count too. And all 4 of us are homeowner nerds.
I'm realizing an issue with the game
What's
we're
that?
playing.
What's
What?
that?
We're playing Team Fortress 2 because it was one of the few games we could easily stream that was on the PS3. But we just got into a match with aimbots.
You don't have your aimbots installed?
I turned them off for the stream, so well, not going the best. But yeah, we'll figure that
So
out.
what is an aimbot?
The snipers on the other Team Fortress 2 is filled with snipers that will automatically headshot you,
Okay.
and
it felt-
they are bots, I believe.
Wait, like they're actually not human beings playing?
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
not entirely sure
Yep.
at this point, but yeah, anytime you go outside of spawn, you get shot.
Oh boy. We were gonna play. I was trying to hook up my
Oh,
PS3,
wait, yeah, we can ban them.
play a game,
Mhm.
but I don't. But my Elgato capture card does not support PS3 because PS3 is like the only console around that has persistent HDCP. So copy protection means
Oh, is that what that is? It's like an anti-pirating
Yeah.
thing or something?
like I think PS4, PS5, and Xbox have it not persistently, but like occasionally. I don't even know how to vote yes on this.
F1.
It's F1. Sorry, it's been so long
I
since. There we
know.
go.
I think both teams got rid of the hackers.
Okay.
A little imbalanced, but whatever. We did it.
But we've got 2 of us playing here.
We do.
I never played this on the PS3. It was only
I didn't
on
either.
the orange box.
I
Which-
hear the PS3 version of Orange Box was the worst version of it. So
Oh, I'm sure. It was pretty different though.
it
In
was
that, like
completely
that
vanilla.
orange box. Yeah, and the orange box was just like it was the first real outing with like Steam trying to get into the console market. And so they just like bundled a bunch of games together.
And it
and-
seemed to work out.
I'd never started using Steam until like this last year somehow. Having played video games my whole life, I avoided it, and so I missed games such as Team Fortress 2 and all other related contemporaries like Portal and whatnot.
Oh, you missed Portal?
That was on Orange Box 2, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Then that counts for the conversation tonight. Yes, I never played it. But I finally realized what all the hubbub's about with that whole Steam thing.
There's a couple games on there that's pretty easy to play. But
Now, I thought that you were an advocate of digital downloading, weren't you, Eric?
Oh yeah, I love it now.
Okay.
That's why I like Steam so much. I don't even have to think. Just click the button.
it's so
Yeah,
easy.
Click the button, spend the money.
Take money, play games.
Like I would recommend our fans do, and our listeners and enemies, if we had a subscribe button, but we don't.
There's a follow
Click-
button.
Click the button. Do not spend the money.
Hey, the more
TF2
follows
actually
we get, the better.
has a it has a vinyl pressing, doesn't it?
Which
What,
one?
TF2?
Yeah.
It does. That's why. That is also a reason why
Mm-hmm.
we kind of picked this game, because we
You guys are
put a list
so
together
appropriate.
of what PS3 games we thought had a vinyl release, so we can tie it into our monthly theme of console games.
Seamlessly tie it in.
Mm-hmm.
One might even say.
So, even though this is much more of a PC game, it is what it is.
Count it up.
And
If I
whenever we were making this list, I was realizing more and more, I did not play a lot of PS3 games.
Did
When
you
we-
have a PS3?
I
Who
did.
here had it?
I've always
You
been
most-
a PlayStation. My family's a PlayStation family.
Did you
Yeah.
mostly use it as a Blu-ray player, Atrix? Or
Yeah, that and like, I mainly wanted it for like Metal Gear Solid 4.
yeah, that was my first experience with PS3 Metal Gear Solid 4.
And then
And,
there was like a huge gap between like the games I wanted to play whenever I was all about the 360, and then eventually it became about the PS3.
I feel like I played so much PS3, but looking back on the game catalog, it's hard to imagine how.
Oh yeah,
I feel like it. I played a lot of Resistance Fall of Man. That was a good series. That'd be a
I
cool
did-
series to see get some music of.
I did not play Resistance all that. I think PS3 was also a system where I downloaded a lot of demos on PlayStation. So like, I have faint memories of a lot of, especially first-person games. Looking
One
at
of my
PS3
font-
collection right now.
One of my fondest memories of the PS3 was when they released God Hand to be playable on the PlayStation Store.
Your life.
I don't know if that speaks. I mean, I'd already played it like countless hours, but
Mhm.
maybe that speaks to what my true experience with the PS3 was, which was very limited in retrospect.
Metal Gear Solid. Yeah, I could have put Metal Gear Solid 4 or 3D Dot Game Hero.
Oh my god,
Started
3D
on-
Dot Game Hero is so good.
Yeah, that was an interesting game.
Someone lent me that or gave it to me, and it sat on top of my little media cabinet forever. I never inserted it into my console.
You do know that it's like half Legend of Zelda and half Dragon Quest homages, right?
That was almost
Like-
what veered me away from it, because I was like, because so many like there's
Too
been so many
heavy-handed.
like Zelda games, and I looked
Yeah.
at like screenshots on the box, and I was like, damn, this shit looks like it sucks.
No, I thought it was fun.
Well, too late now for me to know the difference.
You can still play it. It's not that expensive on the second hand right now.
What, for PlayStation 3?
Yeah, unless you don't have one anymore.
I don't remember. I've somehow lost all of my consoles slowly over the years.
How do you lose a whole console?
I don't know, because I think they were always technically my brothers. He
yeah,
was
that'll
the
do it.
PlayStation family. I was just along for the ride.
Right.
I wouldn't have done it any different though, given the choice.
Mhm. I mean,
I'm
it
a-
works.
I'm a solid Xbox hater through and through.
But so, yeah, as soon as I got my PS3, I think I returned it to Target a week later because I was just nervous about spending that much money, and then about a month and a half later, I rebought a PS.
Oh my god. I mean,
Love
it
that
was
for you.
the meme of $599 US.
Yeah. Yeah, and even waiting, the year it took for Metal Gear Solid 4 to come out, like, it
Yeah.
didn't drop in price, really. All I did was miss out on the PS2 backwards compatibility.
Oh yeah.
That's why I liked it. I did have one of those, and that was really cool. I recall, but I was an avid flip top user on my PS2, so none of my games I don't think were actually hardly playable, besides a handful. That's what we need again. We need consoles that can be hard modded easier.
That's true. Yeah, and I know a lot of people were talking about, or at least Jim Bob was talking about hard modding the PS3 before the stream.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But you didn't get into Uncharted or anything?
It just never caught me. I never played them.
And I had no interest ever.
Looks like dude goes on adventure.
He
I bet it's
was
fun.
He was the dude going on adventures, though.
Yeah.
For what it's worth. Yeah, I'm trying to conjure what my experience really was with that console.
I was
Killzone.
such a 360 fan.
If you liked Resistance, you probably played Killzone, right?
I did not actually. I played it one time. I played the PS2. There's a PS2 Killzone, right? I played that on my flip top one time, and I think that was all ever.
That was good.
Yeah, what did I fucking play, dude? Maybe I'm not a gamer. I have always insisted I'm a fake gamer.
The biggest games I played, I did get into some of the pixel junk game. I did get my introduction to the Disgaea series.
Oh yeah.
Introduction to Demon Souls and Dark
Pico
Souls
is
from
working
Software.
on his house, by the way. Right now.
Oh shit! I thought I was muted. I'm sorry.
For the viewers at home. No, it chat's loving it. So the more home, the better.
We need like a home improvement loon sounds.
Right.
Type
Yeah.
beat.
That was sounds. Hell yeah.
What's that God, what show is that joke where it's like the rainforest sounds, but it's the rainforest being cut down?
Oh no!
Guy joke.
It does sound.
That may be a Family Guy joke, so I don't want to steal it.
Oh
but
no!
I was imagining something similar. Wow. Home improvement for all. Home improvement gossip hour. You know what this? I love those sounds, honestly. Non-ironically.
Ironic.
What? You were saying something about researching for this episode briefly. It reminded you of what?
I
Tricks?
didn't play a lot of PS3 games, or at least not a lot on our vinyl list.
It made me realize how I don't think is there any boot PS3 soundtracks?
I don't know, and that was one that I couldn't figure out because I was going through someone's list of like every vinyl release on Discogs that was relating to video games, so I was starting to lose my mind after a while. But I didn't see any boots, like PS3 boots. Does chat or anyone else know if there might be one? And if not, what do you want to see? Let's bring someone in if there is anyone.
Oops. I'm looking at my PS3 games that I walked off.
Was P4 Golden on the PS3 ever?
No. Because Golden was a Vita game.
Right. Yeah, you're right.
And then ported to like Steam like last year.
RSL did a one-sided lathe of Valkyria,
Yeah.
which was cool. So yeah, I think that is as close as we get.
Lathes don't count. Those aren't real.
Lathes are not real.
It's true. They're a fictional piece of your mind.
I think more and more people are realizing that you don't have to support fucking labels. Just make your own.
That's
As
good,
easy
yeah.
as 1,
This
2,
helmet
3.
says P4 was ported to PS3,
Oh,
which I think might be the closest thing I can think about being possible.
I think so.
I don't know if it counts, but
I don't know.
Yeah, you want to bring some here? Let's. You mentioned Jim Bob. Let's
Yes,
bring.
please bring in Jim Bob. I will do it. It's Jim Bob. Hey,
Hey, what's up?
you've been preparing for this
live.
episode. You've been doing research, and I know you've been writing what you were gonna say today.
Oh no.
So, give us the. Oh my God, I'm gonna die. What you talked about, like hard modding your PS3 and your interest
Soft
in that.
modding.
Soft modding. Okay. So let's talk about that a little bit.
So yeah, it was quite. I don't know if I inspired this episode. I sure hope so. But I can say the timing is coincidental. I just got a PS3 at a garage sale on Saturday, and it is a pretty cool system. Most of the models can be Actually, all the models can be modded in some way to run homebrew. Some more than others, and it's pretty easy to do. A little bit of know-how and know how to format some drives and run some applications. Not too hard.
Get a USB or something.
Little USB flash drive and all that.
I'd like to say real quick, we do not condone piracy, but go off.
No piracy. Just backups, because once you do
Right, backup.
get all your custom firmware installed, you can literally rip all your PS3 games, keep them nice and minty fresh.
Exactly.
All your PS1 games, PS2 games, they can all be fucking ripped. You could hack your PSP, rip those games, and put them on your PS3 and play them.
Wait, can you really just play your PS2? I guess they did update it to do that, huh?
Yeah, it runs using like the emulator that they developed for the
Right.
minis. It's very interesting. But yes, long story short, you can hack most PS3 models and they can play those 4 generations of PlayStation consoles. Even if mine, which is a Slim, does not officially support PS2 games, it still can emulate them with the custom firmware and the software, which is really cool.
I feel like the moment I remember, like when the PS3 stopped being backwards compatible, very strongly stood out to me as like when consoles stopped being as good or cool and customer friendly and shit. It was a very, very sharp image in my memory.
Yeah, because PlayStation did that forever.
That was a crushing defeat for the customer base.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and what was the real crushing defeat? And I remember this very distinctly was that they implemented a software or a firmware update that they did not really tell anyone what was going on with it, but it turned out to remove Linux support, and like, well, that stopped their folding at home program, and it stopped any sort of like flashing and custom modding of the PS3, and a lot of people got really up and up.
But then they found another way.
Oh, there's always going to be another way.
Yeah.
You can't
Oh yeah.
keep everything hack-proof.
Sony realized they had to start doing bug bounties and like paying people to find exploits for them, and it's worked out much better for them. They tend to patch exploits and then release them publicly nowadays, which is much better clean room. And that's a made up jargon. That does not fit. I'm sorry.
Hey, it's good enough jargon for us.
But how
Bob,
do
did
you
you-
feel about PS3 soundtrack? Do you have any connection to them?
Oh, I'm trying to think actually. Soundtracks.
Right? Why is this so hard?
I adore PS3 games. I played a lot of the early stuff. My brother-in-law had a PS3 like from when it launched, and I went over there and played it a lot. And you had like a Heavenly Sword was a launch title.
Oh yeah.
God of War ripoff. Used like motion control arrow controls when you fired arrows. It was definitely a tech demo. Little Big Planet's got some great music.
Little bit. I mean that's yeah. There's little original music in Little Big Planet, but
True.
Was there
geez,
not? What was the soundtrack? Was it?
like there was like the Go Team battles,
Passion Pit.
Passion, yeah. Just
Really?
a
Huh,
lot
I
of-
don't remember at all. I just remember it being like cutesy. I didn't remember it being like music that was used from actual
Something we
artists.
were popping off. to.
But if there's a THPS 1 and 2 boot, there can easily be a Little Big.
Oh yeah.
And as far as games go that are soundtrack based rather than original composition based, like that is definitely one that I could see myself purchasing.
It could be
Like-
a parody cover of the Rolling Stones "Sticky Fingers" with the zipper.
Sounds like you got an idea in the bag right there.
Thanks.
Let me go cockbulge or no cockbulge on that one.
Demon Souls is a fantastic PS3 game with a fantastic soundtrack. Holy shit!
I think my favorite of like probably most of the PS3 games is the Near Gestalt Replicant games.
I've heard those
Oh,
are
we
really
did-
fucking good.
Yeah.
Those are games I've intended to play for so long. They look like they'd be incredibly appealing to me, and I've just never done it.
I'd say it's worth a shot.
I didn't really talk much about this game as like my favorite VGM soundtrack, but 3D Dot Game Heroes has some really banging music.
It really does.
Now that I'm replaying it a little bit with the 3PS triple,
Like I mentioned earlier, it is almost 50% homage to Zelda, 50% homage to Dragon Quest, and the soundtrack like blends the early Zelda soundtracks with like the orchestrations of Dragon Quest and the fanfare of that, and it sounds so good. That
It's
would
beautiful.
definitely be one that would be a constant play if it was on vinyl.
So
then there's like a technically PS3 game like Journey. It's a PSN exclusive forever.
Yeah. Yeah.
so Jim, real quick before we cycle on to another guest, if you were to recommend a game that you'd say soft mod your PS3 and play the backup of a game for, what backup would you say you should play?
Oh man. Obviously, you should play one of the greatest action RPGs of all time, Kingdom Hearts 2. Holy fuck, that game's combat is flawless. The story is ridiculous and goofy, but it's like Devil May Cry on critical difficulty. The game is fucking perfect. You're just zipping around, doing all the spells, you're hitting people, Donald Duck screaming at you. It's a great time.
Can you do your best Donald Duck scream?
Wah! I make weird sounds. I can't do it.
Okay. Thank you for attempting. That was great.
That's all we ask.
Thank you guys for having me. I appreciate it.
Thanks for having us.
Yes, triple.
Thank you. This episode is dedicated to Chad Warden,
Good.
wherever he might be.
God bless his soul.
All right.
Do you all think Metal Gear Solid 4 will ever come out on vinyl?
I mean, they
'Cause
teased 2
Mondo-
and 3. but
Yeah.
It's been like years since then. So I don't know.
And also 4 has a much bigger soundtrack than 2 and 3. It's like, do they even want to attempt that?
Probably not. I mean, like most people when they think about the series, they think of 2, 3.
Yeah. A lot of people tend to
Like,
skip out on.
If
Four,
they get
four is
that
the first
far,
one I played. I don't know if that messed up my perception of the series, but
You did what now?
4 was the first one I'd ever played, and I
Oh,
don't
yeah.
know what that did to my perception of the series, but I feel like I ended up liking 4 like almost the most.
Yeah.
I like the main series games.
I mean, especially with a game series that like evolves in control and nuance as Metal Gear. Like, if 4 is your first like contact with it, going back and like playing through 1 is just, it's so limiting, and it's so difficult to really comprehend.
yeah, like there's a lot of neat things, and it is probably one of the best Metal Gear games, but it was such a long story that it's kind of hard to be like, oh, check out Metal Gear Solid 4. Well, slurred that together. Metal Gear Solid 4, especially when there's like 3.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think the biggest issue with 4, I think the game, I think the story's pretty good. I think the music is good. I think like a lot of the immersion is good. I think it's weird how inconsistent the gameplay is when you go through the chapters. Like what is it? Chapter 3 is that like sneaking through the European city, and then you go on like a 10-minute
it takes
motorcycle
fucking
chase.
ever. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, I think I wanted a lot of like Metal Gear Solid 3 elements in the gameplay, but it was just like these, it was more like a level structure than anything, and I that was not that threw me off as far as playing Metal Gear games goes.
Yeah, Zach mentioned Revengeance and Rising, and that has a vinyl release.
Oh yeah.
And that is a godsend of an album.
Yeah, it goes hard, doesn't it?
Shit. it does. Harder than it needed to.
Those were the what, Rising was the Raiden one, or is that Revenge?
Yeah.
It's the same thing. I think it's
Okay. Oh
called
yeah,
Metal Gear Rising
it's
Revengeance.
yeah, long ass title.
Perfect for what it is. But it is a trip.
It was a tough game to play, but like it just got super hard really fast.
It did, but that music made everything so worth it.
Do any of you all have the Dark Souls vinyl records?
Nope.
I have the Demon Souls.
Channel 3
Yeah.
records.
Yeah, that's the best PS3 game is Demon Souls, baby.
It's so good. Yeah. It's it was a trip playing. I did play the PS5 remake of Demon Souls right after Elden Ring, and that was a trip to play.
I hadn't played, like, I haven't seriously played a Souls game until Elden Ring. And so I'm just like, shit, I missed out on a lot.
Well, I think Elden Ring does such a good job of like making it similar. Like it will be easy to go back to Dark Souls if you wanted to.
Yeah.
Like that's how similar that game is. Like it's far less expansive and far more linear, but like the core gameplay element you will not be lost in.
Yeah, so I'm excited to get to those finally after putting it off forever. But yeah, I just never got into them.
Did you did end up playing through Elden Ring though?
I did. I got the platinum on that, and I never wanted to start the game up again.
You never died once.
Oh yeah, I did not die once. I am pro legit gamer. I died a lot.
Thank you for the clarification.
I guess Uncharted is still like a PS exclusive, even though they've gotten it on PS4, PS5. I think that like what are Naughty Dog's core franchises? Are they like Crash Bandicoot, Uncharted, and Jak and Daxter? Did they do Jak and Daxter?
Jak and Daxter count anymore?
Are they The Last of Us too? That's what
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they are.
They did
Maybe I'm
that.
mistaken. I don't know if
That's
they
another
did Jak
game
and
I
Daxter.
just
They-
didn't play.
They did do Jak and Daxter. Or they just did Jak 2. I think they did the other ones, but I could be wrong.
I think the what works so well for Uncharted is that it was, I think, one of the first games that actually played like a low stakes like movie.
Yeah, that's the impression I get with this.
And the soundtrack is very much like a big part of that.
That's
Like they really like worked on mood.
It
big,
feels-
big moods.
Yeah, the proto Last of Us vibe is
Yeah.
very strong with that one.
We want to bring anyone else in here?
Yeah. I'm too busy playing Team Fortress to be looking
I'm-
at things.
I'm doing bad, so I'll bring in Tyler.
Hey there, Tyler.
Tyler, you there? Tyler.
Hello.
Hello.
How's it going?
His dude.
Going well.
No.
Good to hear it.
What was did you have much experience with the PS3?
It was my second console ever. I started with the PS2. We waited until it dropped down in price because it was like dumb expensive for the longest time.
Mhm.
But me and my dad both played the Ratchet and Clank games together when I was a kid.
Oh yeah.
So he saw, I think it's Tools of Destruction. He was like, "Oh, we got to get that." So eventually it came down in price and we got one. And I played the fuck out of it. It's probably the console I have the most fond memories of,
Okay.
but I like can't think of anything.
That's how I feel too about it. That's
Why
exactly
is
how I
the
feel about
system
that
like
game.
this?
Well,
No.
it's definitely like it because I think PS3 was the the end of the era of like console exclusivities.
Yeah.
So like besides a half dozen titles, most of them have migrated onto PC or Xbox or even Switch now. So
Yeah, like a lot of the stuff I played was, multi-console support. There wasn't a lot that I played that was specifically a PS3 exclusive outside of, like, I did play a lot of Uncharted, Little Big Planet, and Ratchet and Clank, but other than that... Oh, Jim Bob mentioned Infamous. That game was pretty good, too.
That was a
Infamous,
neat game. The-
What about Heavy Rain? Did anybody say Heavy Rain?
Oh fuck, Heavy Rain! How could we forget Heavy Rain?
Boy,
That's the
David
cinematic
Ajay.
masterpiece.
Dude, I love Heavy Rain.
I'm
I
with-
remember
I
thinking it was
really did enjoy playing Heavy Rain.
I
thought
did
it was the coolest
too.
shit ever when it came out.
It's stupid as hell, but it was so fun.
I'm with Frank on Heavy Rain, where every line of dialogue in that game is hilarious.
Mhm.
And it does not mean to be, so it's just so much better than it should be on repeat plays.
It's just so bizarre. Like they had the budget to put into Heavy Rain, but then they could not. Like they didn't think to get American voice actors. They got like Swedish voice actors that either had to learn English
French,
or
I think. because the
French.
guy who makes it's French Canadian.
Oh, really? Is that why it fucking
David
sucks so
Codger.
badly?
Yeah.
Because he's French.
That's part of the
That's
reason.
crazy.
I might imagine that that if they didn't get voice actors down pat like that, they probably didn't get translation all that well either.
I just don't think David Cage is a human being. I think he's an alien.
I never played Beyond Two Souls, but I always
That game's bad. It's really bad. But it's really funny.
that
I was reflecting. Ratchet and Clank is Rift Apart's the first thing that's been pressed from that series, right? That new pressing that's coming out.
If you don't count the movie, they did, or I guess that was the reboot of the game. They did a reboot on PS4, and I Am 8-Bit pressed it, I think.
Oh, did they?
Mhm.
I don't think I remember that being a thing.
Yeah.
Though I do see it.
In 2016, they did it. Yeah.
I'm such a soft spot for that series.
Yeah. It was a pretty alright reboot.
And what was it? A remake of the first one?
Of kind of the whole series. So like, Dr. Nefarious was the main bad guy in this one, as well as Chairman Drek, like the first game and the third game, basically. So they kind of just pushed them together, if I remember correctly.
And I know this game was multi-console, but like in the era of the PS3, one of my favorite. Like I didn't think Tony Hawk was going to get beaten in like terms of fun skateboarding gameplay, but then the Skate series came out. Any of you all get as into that as I did?
I think the secret sauce to that game was the bone breaking mechanism. I don't know if that was Skate 1 or Skate 2, but that solidly sold me on that game.
I love glitches, and I saw how many like glitch videos there was for some of those games, and I would just play them trying to do those.
I never played it. My cousin did, and I would watch him just do the bone break thing for hours. It really was the secret sauce.
And it was so much fun because like I think Ollie Ollie does it now where like they do dual analogs to perform tricks.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh! Yeah, you got
from the game.
Yeah.
All right, I'm disconnecting.
So I think one of the bots renamed themselves to me. Hell yeah.
Did you ever?
That's very funny.
Do you have any fond memories about like making levels in Little Big Planet?
Yeah, I did it a lot, and I found out recently they're all really bad.
They always will be.
Well, I think I was like 5th grade when the game came out.
Mm-hmm.
So I like went back in high school, and I was like, oh my god, my magnum opuses were literally just me making a level really long and just throwing shit in piles. And then just you had to make your way around them. And I was like, you know what? 100 people played it. I've succeeded in life. I can die now, and nothing will top it.
So many people.
Games just destroy my self-esteem, my creative self-esteem. Same with like Animal Crossing. I can't even wrap my little fucking peanut brain around how people create some of the stuff they did. Those games are really fun to play, though. I played them a bunch with my brother when I was younger. The Little Big Planet games.
Yeah.
I made like a 3-level arc in Little Big Planet, and I really enjoyed it making it. And then I went back and played it again like 5-6 years ago, and I am so much worse at platforming games now. Like I made them Nintendo hard, but like yeah, I didn't realize how bad they were. Like I would see people trying to play these levels and give me bad reviews because they couldn't get through them. And I was like, what are you talking about? It just takes a little effort. Apply yourself. And Now I can't do that.
Yeah, you mentioned it earlier, but Little Big Planet 1's soundtrack is really, really good. The selections they've chosen from other bands.
Yeah.
I listen to it actually pretty often to this day, just because they have Battles on there, DJ Crush. They have an African orchestra with singers on it, and it's just really beautiful.
Mm-hmm. And they're all it's all just upbeat, but not too in your face about it.
Yeah.
It pumps you up, but it's enough to kind of still stay in the background, because that game takes a lot of there's a lot of audio cues and stuff when you're playing custom levels you have to be aware of.
Yeah, you can add a million sound effects to literally anything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that would really be a stellar track.
Yeah, I would kill for one of those. But I recently went back and played. This was cross-platform, but of that generation, and it's not great on. It's actually very bad on PS3 and I think Xbox as well. But Castlevania: Lords of Shadow has a really amazing soundtrack.
Really?
It's just this super bombastic versions of I don't even really know how to describe it, but the game itself is pretty okay. It's a God of War clone with a lot of Guillermo del Toro influence in it. So it's kind of in some cases, but the soundtrack fits it really, really well and sets up those stages better than most of the game could ever try to.
Now, Atrix, are you just Symphony of the Night fan, or are you all about?
I have played all the Super Nintendo ones, the Genesis Nintendo. So I think I've played most of them up till Symphony, actually.
Okay.
And I was on a journey at one point to play every single Castlevania, and then I just burnt myself out.
I just came to the realization maybe yesterday that Kid Dracula was a Castlevania game.
Yeah.
Oh,
That
yeah.
stunned me to learn.
Have you seen gameplay of it?
No, I haven't.
It's a fun game.
It's a lot of fun. The first boss is a Klansman. It's outrageous as fuck.
Hell yeah. Finally some representation in gaming.
Hell yeah, brother. But that one was super fun to play for the first time just because it was so ridiculous. And the platforming is good too.
Well,
Does anyone own any of the official pressing PS3? Or I know there's some of them. I feel like there's so many of the official pressings for PS3 games are box sets or huge multi-disc releases. Thinking about it, there's the Souls games and what some of the Mass Effect, all the Mass Effects that generation.
Like it.
I think so, yeah. I don't have any that I can name.
No, they're. I think I would get Uncharted Trilogy if I came across it, but I have not really sought it out yet. But
I like Uncharted 3. I think that's the best one.
Mm-hmm.
The sound or the game in general?
There's just the game all around.
Mm-hmm.
It was really good too. Like all of them now that I think about it.
Yeah.
Seeing a list of PS3 releases does make me realize how few official releases I own.
Oh yeah. So
I don't own. If I didn't have a tape of the Fallout 3 GNR selections, I would probably own that on vinyl. The because that was one of my very favorite things to play on a PS3.
Are we in your car, Pico? Or is that?
Yeah, you guys are in my car.
Okay.
Oh, is that my seatbelt thing?
I guess.
Are you not
I'm
wearing a seatbelt?
I like block it out. I fucking
Live
hate
on
that
air.
beeping. The beep, 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 beep. Put your fucking seatbelt on. How about I take the fucking fuse out of that section of the car? So shut the fuck up.
Live recording of Pico going through the windshield.
Oh no! Oh no!
That'd be crazy. I always wondered that if like I was gonna get robbed or something while on air.
You get robbed on air.
Yeah.
that'd be fucked.
All right, Discord guy, he's got a gun. Discord, he's got a fucking gun. What do you want? What do you want? No, bro, I don't carry cash. It's fucking 2022. What the fuck?
Give up the CT.
No, I don't have a
Give up
watch.
the
I have a
CT, Pico.
cell phone. You want
I
my
don't have
cell phone? It's fucking iCloud locked. You can't even do anything with it. What do you? My shoes? What the fuck?
That would be quite something. By the way, is
Yeah.
the Sunshine Tom, is he growing and moving on the stream?
He was initially. People were saying a lot in chat on Team Fortress 2.
Oh, well.
And so I was like, I have this picture up from last week, so I'll put that right there. If anyone was wondering, they're still saying slurs in Team Fortress 2.
Oh god!
And the representation in Team Fortress 2.
Some things never change.
So yeah, gaming has never changed.
Is it possible to do a voice chat in TF2?
Yes, but fortunately I also turned off my audio.
Or maybe an impromptu guest would be a good good route to go.
That sounds terrifying.
It would be very weird if my voice was actually transferred over through Team Fortress 2, and like they were just hearing my end of the podcast.
Be a good gimmick.
Would be. So we're mostly through our podcast, and I wanted to kind of just go through the list that we did put together to remind people what all's out there. From a technical stance, Yakuza 0 was a PS3 release. We have BioShock 2. We talked about Last Effect. Last
Last of Us, yeah, was an end of era PS.
Technically, Persona 5 is,
yes,
because that was released on PS3 and
Yeah.
PS4.
That's it. Crazy.
There's a bunch of downloadable games too.
Yeah, I was realizing that more. Like Flowers on my list.
Well, like Flower, yeah.
Flower, Flow, Journey, Dust Force. That wasn't exclusive, but it was a download. Hotline Miami started on that era.
I think an interesting one that's easily forgotten is Final Fantasy 13 has a release, right?
Oh yeah.
And that was a PS3 game.
Is it the
That
official
is-
Everybody
soundtrack or
hates
is
that
it some
Final
like,
Fantasy.
orchestrated score?
I don't
I
know.
think it's a selection.
love
if I'm not
that
mistaken.
that game.
Isn't it on rails half the game?
It is like a big long cutscene. It feels like.
That's the one they call like it's a hallway game.
Yeah.
It also taught me the word paradigm, though I
Oh,
can
wow.
credit it with that at very least.
You know,
Yeah.
if Final Fantasy 13 was only like 5 years later, then everyone would love it because it would be a walking sim then.
That's true.
Factual.
Yeah, that's true. What's crazy is 15, they started making it way before 13.
Oh.
It was
Got
called
held
Final
back.
Fantasy Versus 13 was
Oh,
the
yeah.
original name of 15. I think they made a teaser in 2006 E3 for it, if I remember correctly.
That's
Wow,
the it's the one that people are saying he's trying to make it happen with the new Kingdom Hearts, right?
Maybe. I think they do them for so long, and then the new engine comes out, and they're like, this game is obsolete unless we literally rebuild it from scratch on a new engine.
Yeah.
I mean, one of the most, I don't know, it's a pretty rare and sought after vinyl release, Red Dead Redemption.
Yeah.
Ah. Does it even have good music? I thought it's just like some like ambient western bullshit.
That's kind of what it is.
Is that not good?
I think that's good. I think that's can be good at times.
That doesn't apply as good music.
I like it, but I don't know if
That
I
was
really want to
on-
pay that much.
That was like on Amazon for like $30 for 2 years.
Oh yeah.
And I love that it blew up in price out of nowhere.
I mean, same with Kid Dracula. Like that was
Revengeance,
like
too.
Yeah, Revengeance is the one that comes to my mind. It was
That-
$17
right.
for so
no
long.
one was buying it. I remember seeing it be like, "Oh, I'm not gonna get
I'll
that."
get it tomorrow.
Yeah.
I'd like to see a full Kid Dracula release on a 12-inch with like Gargoyle's Quest on the other side or something.
Wait, what? Isn't there a release for it? What is it?
it's like a 7-inch.
Gotcha.
It's a 10-inch.
It's part of that
10
like
inch,
small Capcoms where they did like that
Bayou
Baby
Billy.
Bakken and Bayou Billy.
Yeah.
Right.
It was a
I don't
nice
know. I
release.
just don't like 7 inches. I don't like fucking 10 inches. I think I don't like 10 inches more than I don't like 7 inches.
10
Really?
inches are definitely worse in my opinion as well.
Yeah.
10 inches is so fucking stupid. I have a bunch of Radiohead 10 inches and it's like, what the fuck were you thinking?
They didn't want to go all the way.
I think if anybody in the future is ever on the fence, I don't know, man, if I would want like blank space in my side or something, go with the 12-inch. Just fuck it. I'll make the decision for you. 12 inches.
Pico's hot takes.
Don't ever make a 10 inch. Every boot level, 10 inch, throw them in the garbage. If you have any ideas for a 10 inch boot labels, throw it in the fucking garbage. 12 inches.
Add some 2 inches to your record.
I would so much
no
rather
one wants that
have
shit.
blank
Absolutely
space.
no one watches it. When I order a record and it ends up being a 10 inch because I'm an idiot and didn't read it, massively disappointed.
So, this podcast is, I guess, anti 10-inch now.
Yes.
That's okay with me because it always does just feel like we didn't go all the way.
Someone told me something recently. They said a 10-inch, the space you lose on a 10-inch is half of one side of a 12-inch. And I don't know if that's true.
I think it's true. It's like the
sounds close to me. Like
yeah.
it makes sense.
it's like the whole thing about like one large pizza has more pizza per inch than 2 medium pizzas. It's because as the diameter increases, you get exponentially more surface area.
Surface area goes up by a squared proportion per increase of the radius, yeah. Or pizza if you're hungry.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
What do you guys think about that? A bunch of blank space on a 12-inch record.
I hate
Let's
it.
do another loop.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say if you're booting a game, like just like make it longer. It's not that hard.
Go the IM 8-bit route like they did with the TMNT record, and have the victory theme play like 8 times. Take up
Have
space.
3 minutes of
Is that what
just
happens
umbrella.
on it?
Yeah.
I was literally about to say no one will ever complain about having more music, but now that sounds awful. I take it back.
Everyone who got it was like, I thought something was wrong, or I don't know what happened, and then no,
They
that's
could have
just what
looped
they
anything
did.
else.
Yeah. So
What about like the composer like talking about the release, like in the last 3 minutes or whatever?
I don't know.
Hi, I'm blah blah blah, and this is my soundtrack. I wrote this while eating a cob of corn.
I'd rather the dead wax at that point, personally.
I mean, here's the thing, like with Super Metroid, like it was originally pressed like by Moonshake. It wasn't long enough for 2 LP, so they put 1 and 2 on there as well. And then when it got repressed or redone, like instead of doing soundtracks for Metroid 2, they just added like orchestral tracks or like reimaginings at the end. It's like, if you've got time to fill, I think that's a great idea.
Find something else. There's always some, like an orchestration or a cover
Or yeah, worst comes to worst, just OC remix. Like put something of that.
Yeah.
I'm sure you can find a song from the game you're doing.
Just vaporwave it. Get
Yeah.
some WWF voice clips and vaporwave that shit.
Woo!
I think that's where records are heading.
Like
I would
meme
like-
records.
I
Composer
don't know.
commentary if it was rapped at the end, like David Wise spitting some British bars
If he
over
was-
Donkey
They
Kong.
have to be rapping.
I guess
for
in
the
David Wise's
commentary.
case, it'd be grime and not rap, but still.
I would pay good
I think it would be
money
cool to hear like
for that.
about like what they were feeling when they wrote the song.
Isn't
Couldn't
that
you
what
do
liner
with-
notes are
yeah,
for?
that's what I was gonna say.
Liner notes are a waste of fucking time. No one reads that shit.
You read it the once and then you
It's
never
so-
read it again, if that.
Seriously, I've never taken one liner note out of any of my fucking records. I'm like, sorry to the people who write them, but I guarantee 99% of the people don't even look at it.
I did that a lot
read
more when I first started collecting, but more and more. It's like, oh, that's neat.
What about
I
the
like when they
Lathe
have
Escape?
pretty pictures, but words scare me.
What about the Lathe Escape route, where just like put a commercial in there somewhere?
I mean, that
Wish
enhanced
that
the
released
experience.
A lathe.
Yeah.
Sorry, I don't know why anybody wasted their time on anything like a lathe.
What about a 10-inch lathe, Pico? What does that do to your neurons
My
in your
head
brain?
literally fucking explode. I hope like a really shitty lathe label is listening and they're like, you know what? Fuck the VGM podcast. I'm making 100 copies of a 10-inch lathe and I'm putting it on the fucking main.
I've decided
it's-
I'm going to do it. I'll take it
Thank
on
you.
myself. Get a Kunaki 10-inch.
I do have
Send
a
it
10-inch
only to
lathe.
Pico.
Does anybody know where this is from? Anyone know where I can get
Go
this?
records. There's a 10-inch
So-
lathe.
Somehow, like, do a large whole 10-inch
16-page
record.
liner note.
Yeah.
16 pages. It's like a
As
hand.
inconvenient as possible.
I don't
Okay,
even
now-
know if they make large whole 10 inches.
A hand-bound book of liner notes.
For real.
The cost is more for that book rather than the actual vinyl.
I never
Or
even
lathe.
read the good shit in liner notes. I want them to be like, I was fucking on acid while writing this track. I was smoking weed. Like, I had a bagel this morning. Like, I want to hear the good shit. What was the weather out when they wrote this album?
In all honesty, I would pay really good money for someone to reissue the DK rap on a 10-inch and then just have the liner notes written into the record about how much David Wise did not enjoy the DK rap.
Did he take issue with it?
He wrote it as a joke, if I'm not mistaken. And then they were like, "No, put it in the game." And he was like, "Are you
Say,
serious?
please."
This is a joke."
Oh God.
On job, bro, for real. Yeah, I would pay for that. That would be.
I mean, even
quality.
from DKC1, like it had hints of like rap in it and like hip hop culture, and so it only made sense to actually have a rap in there sometime.
Oh, real quick, Cody in the chat said, "I love the little PP poo poo note in Ocarina Part 2 liner notes, though. That was a good note." In the that
Say
was
what?
worth the read.
What? I don't think
I'm
I
going to say
remember.
I missed it because you know what? I didn't even take it out
Oh,
of the
you,
jacket.
you missed the PP poo poo note.
I do
I'm-
like a pee and poop.
I'm
joke,
like a
though.
5-year-old. Like I flipped through those books, but I
To look at the
fucking-
images.
Yeah, I sure as fuck don't read them though. It's like a little baby brain. I'm gonna go investigate the pee poo poo notes very soon. The release the poo poo pee pee tapes.
The poo poo pee tape. Joe, you're live. You're not Joe.
Ah, Joseph.
I'm here. Hello.
Hi,
He is Joe.
Joe. That's throwing
That's
me
slant-
off. Now
that's
that I
slander.
said it out loud.
It threw me off
I really
earlier,
don't
too.
like it. I
I
just
went to
wanted
I went to the pre-show and I was like, "Where's Joey?" And then I was like, "It has to be one of these accounts." And then I found him, and right under my nose.
Yeah, I'm tired of three-letter usernames. Can we go back to what's the next holiday? Do we got a holiday we can all change our names to?
Mother's Day.
Cinco de Mayo.
Oh
Both
yeah,
of
Cinco
those.
de Mayo.
Both of those combined. Let's do that.
Mother's Mayo.
I'm gonna do a culturally insensitive fusion of Mother's Day and Cinco de Mayo.
I stand. I stand the oppressed heir. But yeah, PS Triple. I never played one.
You don't know what that is.
Actually, that is a lie. I have one in my room sitting sideways, a backwards compatible one that doesn't work anymore. That I
Oh.
bought when I was gonna play through all the Metal Gear Solid games.
Mhm.
But then, it just stopped working, so I haven't started them yet. But
Well,
once I
shit.
finish Majora's Mask now, I'm gonna bring all my Metal Gears because I have the Ultimate Collection for PS3. I'm taking to my girlfriend's house, and I'm gonna play them there, and that'll be epic. But I did play one PS3 game at one of my friend's house. It was a big ass haunted mansion. I really enjoyed that one.
Oh, okay.
Classic, a true classic.
There we
It
go.
was
Is that
yeah,
a
it was
one-player game?
yeah, it was a single player game.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
You gotta play it in the second controller port though.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Jeez.
Sure.
That's the haunted part about it.
Right on it.
I would love that if a game didn't work unless the controller was only in the second port.
Metal Gear did that, right? Kind of.
Yeah, it was Psycho Mantis.
Type beat.
And then it was
Yeah.
never done again.
Nope.
Oh, I do remember. What was that? They had the card game they tried doing.
Eye of Judgment. Yep.
That's like the only thing I remember about the PS3 is Eye of
The
Judgment.
like early AR stuff. I mean, I guess the iToy for
Yeah.
PS2 tried to do some IR or AR.
Oh, I had completely forgotten this game existed.
Yeah, I remember that. There were a lot of PS3 games I got rid of because, and now like,
It was just
why didn't
an
I
era.
just hoard everything?
Yeah. Well, I guess that concludes our PS3 episode.
Thank you to Chad Warden for inventing the PlayStation 3.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
sorry for
Warden.
jumping on in the end and just talking mad shit about a bunch of shit.
We wouldn't have it any other way, Pico. And you know that.
We love you.
I hope you're taking a piss now.
No, just
And-
I'm filling up. I'm at the warehouse and I'm filling up the water jug. Uh,
And
I can tell.
when I got out of my car, there was a car with all four of their tires flat driving down the street past me.
What was that, Alex?
oh, I was gonna say next week. Are we gonna? We might continue our loose formatting and do new releases in the past month.
Yeah.
You all have some thoughts on anything that may have come out
So
in the first few weeks of May or last few weeks of April.
think about all those records you've been getting but not spinning that you really love in their liner notes too.
Mhm.
Favorite record you flipped in the last month?
That too. Keep that in mind. Write it down. Make a
Tell Joey about
open notes app. Okay, Google. Oh no, the phone's doing it. Turn on app. What am I doing?
We fly high,
No lie.
you know this. Ballin'.
Good night, everybody.
it. Thanks for joining.
Game though.
Big ass haunted Chad Warden.